Welcome. We're going to talk about borderline personality disorder today. We're going to talk about what it really is, not the stigma and the fears around it and what people think it is, what it really is, and what the roots are and what causes it. Because I'm a trauma-informed therapist, and trauma is a huge piece of it, which is why I've always specialized in personality disorders, because trauma and personality disorders are like this. You know what, it's hard to, I think it's hard for us to say this, but some stereotypes, they get created because there's some truth to them. There is some people with BPD struggle in ways that people find hard, but most don't. That's a most don't. So do the stigmas and stereotypes hold up? No. I think that sometimes what gets lost is there's a genetic component to all mental health issues, all. But the thing about borderline personality disorder, it is at its core an attachment disorder. It's being close to people has been challenging, it's been hard, and therefore this profile comes out of it in some ways. So it's about trying to be close to people. That's what's important, that's what's key, that's the goal that people have. And I've also met, like the majority of clients that I work with who have BPD, you wouldn't know it. You know, there's the stereotype that they don't have good affect regulation and they're angry and all this kind of stuff. And some of them, you'd never know it. And the thing about BPD as well is the presentation is very charismatic. So it may be the most charismatic people you know, who see you, who are intuitively take care of you and love you, and the stereotypes don't hold because they may simply not tell you if they have the diagnosis. There are lots of people who come to me and say they think they have a personality disorder, and what they're really looking for is insight, understanding, because it can be really hard to feel like you have brain on fire and your feelings feel big. And you just want help, you just want to understand yourself. I think that's what I find most people are looking for. Sometimes I find the way it shows up though is when you're dating, how do I tell someone that I've been dating a few times that I have BPD? Because it's so stigmatized that they're afraid that they're gonna not want to date them anymore. And unfortunately, it can be reality. And how do we navigate that? Because the stigma and the stereotypes just aren't real, they don't show up. And that's where I find it kind of comes out. So people with BPD or borderline personality disorder want to connect. It's all about connection. It's wanting to be close to people. It's wanting to be close to other people in a very intentional, deep, powerful way. And therefore they're really good at it. In many ways, they're very good at it. What the problem can be for some people, I want to be clear, with borderline personality disorder, is the breakdown of the relationship. Can be hard, or if they feel abandoned for some reason. That's where it can get more difficult. So can it play out in the relationship? Yes. But some people hide it really well, right? They're feeling so scared of losing their partner, but they also hide it really well. There is a genetic component, okay? There is a genetic component, especially if you feel narcissistic personality disorder, bipolar has been part of your family history, or of course, borderline personality disorder. If you had a parent who had a personality disorder, but it's that concept of, we talk about, is it nature, nurture? The answer is both. There are so many ways that trauma manifest, and I think most personality disorders are trauma. They just manifest in different ways. So when people, it's like, is BPD scary? Well, all personality disorders have pieces that come with it. But in the heart, it's trauma, and it's just trying to find a way to be close to people in a good way. Diagnostic Statistical Manual, which is used to diagnose, okay? It's trying to put together clusters of characteristics so that we can communicate, and also so you can understand yourself. That is the purpose to it. There's tons of overlap. And one could say that almost all of these diagnostics can be trauma, and a lot of them look very, very similar. So it's really about how it shows up for you, which is why if a client doesn't want a label, you don't need a label. All we really have to talk about is what your life looks like, and how do we help you have your best life. The reason I hesitate is borderline personality disorder, I find, is it's often diagnosed with teenagers, because teenagers can self-harm. The thing about being a teenager is we're flooded with feelings. When we're young, we're flooded with feelings, and we have to figure out how to navigate big feels for the first time. And that can, without support, can develop things like self-harm. And if you go to a psychologist and talk about self-harm, you're really highly likely to get a diagnosis of BPD when you're a teenager. So that's where I find it more happens. The thing about CPTSD is it's a moving target. You can go through periods where it's very managed. You can heal it and your life can feel very normal. BPD is a chronic, it's a thing you're going to live with, it's a personality disorder. Or in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, it's a type 2. And what that means is it's more pervasive. It's more chronic. It still can be managed, still can be healed, still can learn to live with it, but treated differently. When you're in my office, treated differently. One is treated more like something you're going to have to manage your whole life. I would suggest that trauma, PTSD, can be something that can be healed so that you show up really differently in the world. Your partner is not somebody with BPD, borderline personality disorder. Your partner is your partner. You deserve to be treated well, as do they. We should be trying to build healthy, respectful relationships no matter what diagnostics and labels fit for us. So you deserve good treatment, and so do they. It's about addressing behaviors. If behaviors bother you, address the behavior. If you bring it up to somebody, you have BPD, so you get insecure and jealous. People get insecure and jealous who don't have BPD. So if you take the behavior head on, you're probably going to get less defensiveness and get further in your communication. Affect regulation is key. So I once had a client describe it as brain on fire, and it's true. There's an intensity. So there'll be many days you could be fine. And then there'll be days where it just feels like the world is turned up loud, every feeling is pronounced, and you feel really irritable, that kind of thing. That's when we have brain on fire. So it's about affect regulation, right? It's about learning to calm the central nervous system, to rewire the central nervous system so that your feelings can feel more in line with the experience in front of you, instead of feeling like they're so huge and you don't know what to do with them. I hope you learned lots about borderline personality disorder and BPD today. They're probably some of your favorite people. That's why the stigma doesn't hold up. We're here to help you. If you have a personality disorder or in any way identify when you look at a list of characteristics if they fit for you, we're here for you. We can help you figure it out and navigate it and figure out a treatment plan that's really genuinely helpful to get you to whatever your goals are.